Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna on Ravelry, Anna on Instagram, and you find everything at one glance at annaknitnightquestions.com. My shop, my podcast episodes, my mystery knit-alongs, patterns, just everything. Hop over to annaknitnightquestions.com and you will find what you search for. This is episode 109, I think. Wait, let me check. I'm very professional today with notes and everything. So yeah, 109. Okay, I would suggest you take your favorite beverage and grab some knitting or crocheting or stitching and just enjoy this upcoming, I would say, half an hour. Okay. What I will talk about today is, maybe I can do this. Oh, this is so comfy. I usually sit straight when I talk to you, but you know, in this cozy chair. Okay, let me take a sip of coffee. First of all, before I tell you what I talk about, you see it's a different setting than usual. Just because this chair is now downstairs since we have our new sofa. I'm in the living room and it's one of those days where I'm alone at home. That is pretty much never the case. So I try to take the advantage to film downstairs. Otherwise I would have to put Tommy into another room in our flat, sleeping room, or in the children's room, how we call it. We don't have children, and so you would have to wait there until I'm finished recording, and I think that is not so nice. So now that I have the flat for my own, I try to record here and we will see how this goes. Many of you asked me quite frequently where Benny is, and that you miss Benny in the episodes. And when you have a look there, I put his basket there so that you can see him, so that you see he is okay, he is fine, he's sleeping, we've been outside. It's actually my lunch break. I still have to work today, but it's a very gloomy day. So I thought I will shoot this video now, as long as we have daylight. Okay, what will I show you today? What will we talk about? Let me take a glance at my notes. So, oh yes, I have news regarding my next, or our next mystery knit-along. I'm writing another pattern, the Self-Care Cowl mystery knit-along. And the mystery knit-along will start on March the 4th. So not May the 4th, but March the 4th. It's Ash Wednesday. Maybe it's easier for you. It will be a mystery knit-along from Ash Wednesday until the Sunday, so Easter Sunday, so during the whole 7 weeks of Lent. This self-care cowl. Okay, on the one hand, it's just a pattern for a cowl divided in 7 clues we knit together out of 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. You will need approximately 800 meter, and if you want to knit the exact same cowl as I do with my yarns, I will offer kits in my shop. I'm already very busy dyeing yarns. I knit this cowl out of the colorway Jeans and Home, out of very soft 22 micron merino yarns, but you can take every yarn you want to use. I would suggest 2 solids or semi-solids, or 1 solid and 1 variegated yarn. It can be a busy yarn, the variegated, but it should be complementary, or it should go well together, you know? So the colors should pick up each other. Okay. Why did I call this mystery knit-along self-care? Okay, that's an easy one. You enjoyed my Advent mystery knit-along so much because it was not only knitting, it was also, you know, comforting information, cozy information, Christmas and Advent songs and all that. You know, it was a round thing. We say in German, eine runde Sache, German word of the day. If something has everything you need, it's a round thing, we say in German. Okay, and for me as a Catholic, the season of Lent every year it is very meaningful to me. Not only do I love Easter and I want to prepare me, myself, my soul for Easter, but also to reduce something, to focus on the very important things, to get rid of negative habits, for example. That is always something I try to do during Lent. It's like the spring clean for your soul. We all do spring cleaning, I think, in our flats and homes. Why not in our souls and minds? And I like to connect something I do easily with something I want to do easily. So let's try to make new habits. And it's so much easier if you want to have a new habit connected to a habit you already have. For example, in the afternoon or in the morning, I always drink a cup of coffee. There won't be a day without coffee. There won't. Or brushing my teeth. Every morning, every night, I brush my teeth. So if you want to start a new habit, try to connect it to something you do already. Okay, and what do we do already? We knit. So why not connecting our knitting with new, good, healthy habits for ourselves? Self-care is not only for ourselves, but also for other people. So if I am content with myself, if I am happy with myself, if I like myself, I can love others and I can be a pleasure for others, you know? I want to be someone people like and enjoy to be around with. And yeah, so I think it's good to work on yourself every year during Lent. And in this mystery knit along, I give you with every clue one awareness exercise. So something that helps you to be in the moment and yeah, to be aware of what you're doing. And even if it's only knitting, listen to the sound of the knitting needles, feel the yarn. What do you smell? What do you think in this moment? Embrace what you think and feel in that moment and work with it. And I will give you happiness tips. So for example, we all love our knitting time, but how can we increase the comfort that gives us this knitting time? Do you really enjoy to knit in the middle of a chaos in your flat before you're cleaned and tidied up? I don't think so. So why not tidying up first? For example, so there are many lovely tips and tricks and gadgets and links to videos and audios I want to provide you with every clue. Yeah, and that is our self-care mystery knit along. And I really like cowls. That is also a self-care thing, you know. You have to be warm and you don't want to care how your scarf or your wrap or stole, whatever, lays on your shoulders. You put on your cowl, you are warm, you look awesome, and everything sits where it should be. So I hope you are curious and I hope you will buy the pattern. I will release it very soon. I'm already busy working on the last steps of the pattern, and then you can buy it on Etsy. You will find it on Ravelry, but it will direct link you to Etsy because everyone can buy on Etsy without having an account. You can be a guest there, so you have a guest account. I think that is the most inclusive thing to sell patterns, and I respect the choice of many of my viewers who left Ravelry. So I will sell my patterns from now on Etsy, so it's easier for everyone. But you can connect and link to the pattern site on Ravelry. Now we should come to my works in progress, should we? Yeah, so I will put away the coffee. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I have blankets. And I will give you a sneak peek on the self-care cowl. So let's start with the self-care cowl. it's still in my Christmas bag because in the old Catholic Church, the Christmas season was up until February the 2nd. And that is a good excuse to still have Christmas things around. I had to put away my Christmas tree because it was already very dry, but I still have my garlands, my tiny knitted Christmas stockings, and all the other Christmas decorations. My Christmas blanket, I still have it around because it makes me so happy. Okay, now I will try to give you a little sneak peek. I know how I will do it. I will turn it inside out. So you don't see the actual pattern, you see the pattern from the backside. So I will show you just quickly how far I am with test knitting. And that's it. You didn't see even the whole thing because it was a little curled up. So this is a lovely textured cowl. If you enjoyed the Advent knit along, where we knit a sock with many different patterns, textured patterns without lace, you will enjoy this cowl. You know, there is no difficult pattern. I will explain everything in detail. If there is a need, I will make videos, so tutorials, so you see how the stitch works from the clue. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You only have to be able to knit and purl. Cast on, knit and purl. That's it. So that is my main work in progress at the moment, because I want to make sure that you have enough yarn. That's the thing I can tell you already, what you will have. If you have 2 skeins of, so all in all 800 meter of fingering weight yarn. Yeah, so that is what I'm working on now. But on the weekends, especially on Sundays, I allow myself not to work because, as you maybe know, my Etsy shop is not my main work. I'm working in a pregnancy help center and I'm doing the youth work, so to say. So we are the Youth for Life. That's how we call it in English. So we are called Jugend für das Leben. And we have so many projects and events and so many cool things going on. So that is my main job. And next to that, I started a business. And you know, there are only 22 hours in the day. And at the end of the day, you have to decide what you do and what you don't do. And so I don't work on Sundays and I want to keep it. Although independent working people are, working all the time. But I don't want to start to work on Sundays because not only do I deserve a free day, but also I'm a Catholic and God tells me, no, you don't work on Sundays. So I think that's a rule we all can live with, right? And that's nice. That's a very nice rule, not to work on Sundays. So I do especially blanket knitting on Sundays. And I started to cross stitch last Sunday, so yesterday again. The recording day, I'm recording this on Monday, the 23rd, I think, but you will see this on the weekend. Because, you know, editing process and so on. Okay, usually I allow myself to work on my other blankets as well, but I had to catch up with my knitting a square every day thing. Okay, my first memories blanket is this one. Don't forget, I'm knitting blocks. So this is a rose one, this is a brown one, and now I'm knitting the blue one, and I knit around a border, and then I attach these 3, and then I attach the 3 to the rest of the blanket. I have already 6 blocks attached to each other. And when I was knitting on the design, I didn't have so much time because I was also working on the weekend. I usually don't do that, but sometimes you have to. And so I had to take away knitting time from the blanket and I had to catch up on Sundays. So I only worked on this blanket last Sunday, so yesterday, instead of the other blankets. Because there will be a blanket talk video every month, and I will record the blanket talk video for January today. I won't go too much in detail. I just want to tell you, yes, I pretty much knit a square every day, only the last days, so this last week, but I catch them up. My goal is to knit 24 5, so 5 by 5 squares a month. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And don't forget, I still have to knit the garter stitch border around. And that also takes time. But I don't count that in because I don't think I will be able to do that time-wise. So my goal is to knit the color block in a month. So this is quite good. January is very good. I will be able to do that. I mean, one square takes me, depending on if I'm listening to an audiobook or watching TV, half an hour or 45 minutes. If I'm only listening to something and I only look on my knitting, half an hour approximately. So yeah, you can calculate how long does it take me to finish a block. I have scraps here, leftovers I swapped, or scraps of projects I have knit. It's not in that way a memories blanket that I connect a memory with every yarn, but we will talk about this in the blanket talk video. Okay, I think I have knit, I think I have knit 15 squares or so since we last spoke, so that's good. That's so much fun. I'm knitting this with 2.5mm higher. I swapped them out. I was always knitting this blanket with 20 centimeter? Yeah, I think so. 20 centimeter long Knit Pro Symphonies, also 2.5. But I wanted to use faster needles, and that's nice, but I would prefer to have them longer because my higher are only, what is it, 6 inch? No, 4 inch, 10 centimeters, right? Yes. Yeah, well, I don't know how, sock knitting needles, the length of sock knitting needles, they are on that table, I can't show you now. So they are shorter, and I have lost stitches because they are so slick. It's not such a big problem, but yeah, I would prefer to not lose stitches. Okay, that's that. I don't have much progress on my Buttonberg blanket. Let me see. I think I only did, yeah, this one. More about that in blanket talk. And I have put a dent. That's not really true, but yeah, I have put more work into my, second memories blanket. Oh wait, that is a stitch marker. So that is a true memories blanket until now. I'm making this with the border. I will talk about the details about everything in my blanket talk. I want to keep my blanket talk in my blanket talk videos because otherwise I would repeat myself every 2 weeks when I upload a podcast. But I can tell you, these are all memory yarns because I have knit socks out of every colorway you see here. It's only opal yarn. The white is opal white sock yarn, and these are opal subscription yarns, leftovers from my socks I knitted. And I don't need a progress keeper, but I really like this tiny owl. So I just have this as knitting jewelry on my project because it cheers me up. And what I was thinking is, when I have knit through all my opal yarns I have knit projects with before, how I want to go on. I could keep it a memories blanket and only attach another square when I have finished an opal project. Or what I lean towards is keeping it an opal blanket, but not only used yarn from projects. For example, I would really like to buy some opal minis because they are so pretty and they're so cute. But at the moment, I really think this will be an opal blanket. Only opal. Because the quality is amazing, and yeah, it's easier to wash, it behaves very nice, it looks very nice, so you have always the same style of patterning. Yeah. So much fun. Details, blanket talk video. So now I have to secure my stitch marker. And he sleeps and sleeps and sleeps. Yeah, cross stitch. I have it here in this perfect bag for cross stitching. It's from Lainey Knits, but it's knits. It was meant to be a knitting bag. And I just show you quickly my progress on my Halloween town. Ghost Riders, I have finished this one, bookshop, and now I am stitching the bookshop. Where's my needle? Okay, there it is. This is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I really like their patterns. That is how it will look. And here. Okay, I know it's Halloween, but I don't have so much projects, so not so much cross-stitch projects that it would be appropriate to say, okay, I will only stitch Halloween in the late summer, for example. My all-time most favorite podcaster at the moment in general is a cross-stitch podcaster, and she is made by Michelle McGraw. And she has so many pretty projects, and I think she has 90 whips on the go, but she has such a great system and it works so well. She makes so she has so many finishes that way. She says, for example, in January she is stitching winter and Valentine's. In February she is only stitching St. Patty's. In March she is only stitching Easter and so on, and from July on she is pretty much only stitching Christmas. That is so amazing, but it wouldn't work for me at the moment because I only have 2 cross-stitch projects on the go. This one and an advent calendar sampler, I would say. But I am already waiting for the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery year-long stitch-along. I would really enjoy to participate in such a stitch-along. The Clouds Factory does have a SAL, but it's about dinosaurs, and I'm not so into dinosaurs. The Frosted Pumpkin had in the past years, for example, the dessert of the month or the fruit of the month and so on. So that is very nice. Or the last one was, I think, a hot beverage every month. So cocoa or bubble tea, coffee, yeah, different teas. So if I know they will have a year-long stitch-along, I asked them and I was writing to them, I think 2 times already, when will you release informations? At the moment they have the Red Riding Hood stitch-along, but I'm not so into Red Riding, so I'm not so into these kind of designs, I would say. And I don't want to have something that has a duration of, let's say, 2 months or so. I would really go into a year-long stitch-along. I would really like that. I noticed I enjoy a schedule. I really enjoy a schedule. For example, the Sundays for blankets, to really allow myself to dive into blanket knitting and not knit on all the other things. It helps me a lot. It helps me. I don't know. It's so I don't have to think about, oh, will I have progress on my blankets? Do I have too many blankets on the go during the week? Because I can say, no, it's no problem. I knit on my blankets every week on Sunday. Or with my knitting a square every day. So I don't have to make so many decisions. It sounds weird when you talk about knitting and making decisions, but it's so helpful. here we are with habits again. It's so helpful if you don't have to think, will I drink a cup of coffee this morning or not? It's a habit. I will drink it. And you don't want to be around me when I don't drink it. So if I feel like, oh, I need some crafting time now, I haven't knit my square of the day. Here I go. I knit my square of the day. And if I would like to enjoy more crafting and if I have more time during the week on that day, okay, cool, then I can decide what next. You know, it helps me a lot. Maybe it's something for you as well. Don't make too many scheduled projects. So I think I would be overwhelmed if I said Mondays is for this sock, Tuesdays is for this, and Wednesdays is for this. But it already helps if you say, okay, on the weekend, I can do this. But during the day, during the week, I will focus on that. That is already very helpful. For example, I try to only stitch after I have finished my daily square on my blanket. It is helpful. And here we are with reducing is helpful. Reducing is good. That's why Lent is so good. Because I don't know why, but it frees. It is so freeing. Is freeing an English word? I hope so. Not having so many options is freedom. If you hear that, you might think, Anna, that's the complete opposite of freedom. You know, freedom means doing whatever you want. No, it's not. That's not freedom. That's our modern approach to freedom, but it's not. Freedom is not only to have the freedom to do something. It's more. It's to be free of something. Yeah, that's why minimalism is such a trend right now, because the people realize having too much is too heavy on you. It seems like contradictive, but if you think about it, it's not. It's not. Yeah. Okay, I have to go upstairs and grab something I want to show you. I will be right back. Okay, I was in my shop yarn stash because I wanted to show you something. I have 2 new products in my Etsy shop. The first product is another sock knitting table. You know, I had already a sock knitting table for 4-ply yarn. All the shoe sizes, from children's sizes until men adult sizes. And now I have also a sock knitting table for all these sizes, but for 4-ply, 6-ply and 8-ply yarn. That's the way how we organize our sock yarns in Germany. 4-ply is fingering, 8-ply is DK, and 6-ply is, I would say, sport weight, so the weight in between the two. And I want to present the 6-ply yarn I have added to my shop right now. Oh, Benny is moving. It's so funny, I can see him here. Okay, I will show you. This is 4-ply yarn, okay? This is chocolate 100% merino out of my shop. I just want to compare it. 100 gram of fingering weight yarn makes 1 pair of socks, okay? But if you buy my 6-ply yarn, you need more yardage because it's a thicker yarn, so you always need more yardage. This is the same colorway, but on 150 gram of 6-ply, in this case sparkle yarn, that's also chocolate. But can you see this small skein? It's a normal skein of fingering weight sock yarn, but this ginormous thing has 150 gram, and that's enough to make a pair of socks for every shoe size. So you can also knit a big men's-sized sock out of this skein. And because it's always tricky to find out how many stitches do I have to cast on with this slightly thicker yarn, I have written everything in my sock knitting table. You also can hold fingering weight yarn double when you say, oh, I need to get rid of all my skeins I have at home. You can hold it double. That creates a DK weight yarn. So you have a look in my sock knitting table where it says 8-ply, because it's easy. That's 4-ply, and 2 4-ply yarns equals an 8-ply yarn, DK weight yarn. Everything is written out in my table. I just wanted to tell you that I now have 6-ply sock yarn in my shop as well. And it is not, it has 28 micron. So it is on the sturdy side. It's not like buttery soft merino, but it is a very soft sock yarn. And I would knit, for example, garments with that as well as with opal yarn. Many ladies make pullovers out of opal yarn. Yeah, I would compare it to opal yarn. It has such a pretty sparkle and it is not disturbing. It's not scratchy or anything. And you get 150 gram. And for me, it is completely normal to say, okay, you need 150 gram for a big shoe size. So it will cost the same as this, 30 euro, 30 euro. And I received a review on Etsy where a lady so nicely was pointing out, oh my gosh, she only wants the same amount of money, although she gives us 50 gram more yarns. And I thought, okay, that might be something special for some people. So I just wanted to tell you, yeah, sure, it costs the same, although you get more yarn. Yeah, so thank you for that nice review. I just wanted to show you this colorway that is chocolate. Then I have a 6-ply in the colorway jeans. That is the color I use for my cowl, but in 4-ply. Another 6-ply is boy or girl. I really like that. And here another comparison. Here's 6-ply plum tree. One of my best-selling, the best-selling colorway in my shop. And here you see the exact same base, but in a 4-ply, so also with sparkle. And you see it's smaller. Yeah, 100 gram 4-ply, 150 gram 6-ply. And what I really like about 6-ply sock yarn, I have knit so many 6-ply socks already. You are much quicker, but you still fit in your shoes with 6-ply yarn. So if your husband needs a new pair of socks for his work because he is a hard-working man and he needs warm feet, and you think, oh gosh, but he has so big feet, don't take 4-ply, take 6-ply, and he will fit into his shoes, and you will be done so much quicker, and you can add other stuff. Yeah, so that was something I wanted to tell you. Is there anything else? Let me see. Oh yeah, InstaKnitnightQuestions. I have 3 questions I want to answer. Wait. If you are wondering where the dog is, he is sleeping right there. You only see his butt, I think. Okay, 3 questions I would like to answer. Do you have fiber goals? Yes. Okay. You know, I don't take it too serious with goals and I don't adopt resolutions and so on. But I really would like to keep this 1 square a day thing. If I can keep it, I will be done with my Cozy Memories blanket within 6 months. I have to say, it's the year of my wedding. So maybe I need a little bit more time. But on the other hand, there will be 2 weeks of honeymoon and we will have a lot of time and I will definitely take my knitting with me. For all the curious viewers, we will marry in May. So yeah, a lovely traditional May wedding as in the old good times. Oh yeah, and I would like to find a schedule for me. I still have to set that for myself for cross stitching because that is a thing I want to keep up with. Is that the right way to say that? I don't think so. And maybe this stitch along will help me. Maybe it will inspire me to set days. For example, Wednesday is my stitching day. I will stitch a little bit, like 30 minutes or so every Wednesday. That could be an idea. We will see. And the second question, blocking. Do you block your projects? If you mean with blocking to get out blocking mats and pins and wires, yeah, when I have knitted a shawl, and that is already some time ago because I don't need so many shawls, but everything else, so if it's not lace, I won't block it. In most cases, it is enough to lay it out flat to dry and shift it a little bit into the dimension you want it to be. So the weight, for example, of a pullover will block the pullover by itself. You don't have to do anything. You have to be careful that you don't let the wet fabric hang down, so it will block accidentally. So that's everything I do. I'm laying it down flat to dry and pull and shift a little bit around, and that's enough. Yeah. But if you knit lace, you have to block. Definitely. So all these pretty shawls and so on, you have to block. What's your favorite brand of needle? I don't know if I can give an ultimate answer, but I would say no, it's hard. It's very hard. I haven't tried many brands yet because, again, too many options. It's overwhelming. I don't need so many needles. I really enjoy the Knit Pro Symphonies. So this laminated birch wood, because it's quite good for everything. It's fast enough, but not too fast. It's not so sticky and grippy like bamboo. But I really enjoy fast needles like Hayas and their pointy tips. I really love their pointy tips. So for the tips, Haya Sharps, definitely. For the cords of, for example, circulars, Chow Goose, they are the best because they have a wire with a coated, so they have a coated wire as a cable, and that gives more structure, and it's not so wiggly woggly. When I say it this way, I hope you understand. On a daily basis, Knit Pro Symphonies, the wire is okay. The needles are nice because wood is very nice. But if I have to do many knit togethers, Haya Sharps. If I have to knit in the round and I need a good and stable wire, so cord, Chow Goose. Yeah. Hey, cool. That's everything for today. So I hope you enjoyed this tiny little knitting update, this episode. I will stay where I am and record the next video for you, the blanket talk. So if you're interested in the details and stats of some of my blankets and my detailed blanket projects and works in progress and so on, just stay tuned for that. I think this video will come out this weekend or the next weekend, I don't know. But you will know when it's online. So I'm wishing you a happy knitting time, or crocheting time, or cross-stitching time. Take the time you need to be happy. Enjoy your free time. And we will see each other in 2 weeks. Bye bye.